So, guys, we're talking about love. What's love got to do with it? Everything. Doesn't it? Everything. It has a lot to do with it. Love is powerful. Love is one of the most powerful elements in the universe. Oh my goodness. Love covers all. Love is not vain. It is not puffed up. It does not exalt itself. Love is kind. Love is patient. Love endures all above all things. Love is the greatest, most powerful element. I want to talk about love on tonight because I know we dealt with intercourse. We talked about intercourse. We talked about brokenness and ruptured relationships. So I wanted to talk about love because a lot of times, guys, we go into intercourse without love. A lot of times it's lust. We go into our feelings, our emotions, and we find ourselves in these broken places, as I said, in broken relationships, because 9 times out of 10, when we in a relationship, guess what happens? Either we're coming out of one or we're just going into one. We're coming out of one or we're just going right back into one. So a lot of times in between, there's so much that take place. That's why you got to know where you are. You got to know what season you're in. You got to know what works for you at that time. A lot of times we go from relationship to relationship and we're not quite healed yet. We're not quite healed yet. So I talked about it. You can go and look at my scope on YouTube called unpack baggage. So a lot of times we bring in all of this unpacked baggage with us in our relationships and we continue on. Hi Charmaine, hi Hope, thank you all for connecting and joining with us on tonight. We're talking about love on tonight, but love is so powerful. It's just the most potent element in the universe. You can't escape it. You can't hide from it. It will find you. And I'm gonna tell you, no matter how hard your heart is, love will penetrate a deep hard heart and break that heart up, and it will become a heart of flesh. Love covers a multitude of sin. Love casts out fear. Love is so powerful. A lot of times we go through life and just dealing with circumstances, dealing with people, dealing with our past experiences and those things that has hurt us, that have set us off course, that have kind of bamboozled us. We talked about betrayal. We talked about deception, all of that. But guess what? Don't let any of that stop you from loving. Don't let any of that stop you from living. Don't let any of that stop you from pressing forward, from reaching your full potential. Because when you hold all of that bitterness and all of that brokenness in your heart, and you don't allow your heart to love again, you don't allow yourself to live again, what you have done, you have caused yourself to be stagnated. You've caused yourself to be with this wall put up before you. You stop everything from going forth in your life, and there's a free flow in your life when you love. You come alive and you live. So I want us to deal with love on tonight. I don't want love to keep you bound. I don't want love to hold you down. I don't want love to hinder your walk. Because sometimes we get to these broken places and we say, you know what, I just give up. I just don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't want to learn to trust again. I don't want to go through the brokenness again. I don't want to deal with people again. Because when you give your heart to people and you share your life with them, you share your secrets with them, you tell them your goals, you tell them your dreams, you tell them about the things that you want to accomplish and the things that you're trying to build together. And when you share that, all of your intimate parts and those things that are on your heart, and then your heart is broken, your heart is wounded, you leave broken and you shut down. But let me tell you what happens when you shut down. When you shut down, you give away your power. You give away everything, all that you are and all that you can ever become. You give it away. And that person, that same person that has hurt you, that same person that has bruised you, that have left you broken, they have the upper hand. You've given them the victory over your mind, over your thoughts, over your hearts and your emotions. So listen, it doesn't matter what that person has done to you. And look, and I'm not just talking in terms of relationships, you guys. I'm talking about loving everybody, loving people that have hurt you, people that have wronged you, people that have walked out on you, people that have abused you and used you. It can be your bloodline, it can be your blood relative, no matter who it is. Don't render evil for evil. Don't try to get them back. Don't try to get revenge. Let me tell you, the greatest revenge is love. You can love your way through it. Yes, you can. You can love your way through it all. You can love your way through the brokenness, the bitterness, the heartache. You can love your way through the betrayal, the deception, because what is so fascinating to me, and I just find it so intriguing, is that when people have done you wrong, have used you or abused you or lied to you, we dealt with the spirit of deception. I just find it so intriguing when you see those same people and that you can embrace them and it be genuine. You can look them in the eyes and you can love them through it. You can forgive them and keep moving. It doesn't mean that you have to accept what has been done. You don't have to accept what has been dealt, but you can move forward. You can move on. You can move past it. What you're telling that person is, listen, there's nothing that would separate me from the love of God. There's nothing that would separate me from who I am and who I have been called to be. And I can't let you hinder me. I can't let you stop me. I won't let you block me. I'm bigger than this. So I'm going to take the high road, even though you wronged me, even though you didn't do right by me, even though you lied on me, right? Even though you tried to deceive me, even if you won, you still haven't won, because guess what? I'm going to love you through it even the more. That's what we need to do. So many times we give our power away. We walk away defeated. We walk away wounded. Of course, we're broken. Of course, we're hurting. I'm not saying that you don't feel it. Of course, you feel it. But what I've come to learn is that karma knows your name. Karma knows your name. I've made karma my best friend, because a lot of times, we think that if a person has done us something, we want to do them back. We want to get them back. We want to show them, but guess what? Karma doesn't work that way. Karma says that whatever you've done, whatever wrong you've done, whatever seed you've sown, you're going to reap it. Now, if you try to get them back for doing whatever was done to you, that still has to come back to you. That still has to, karma doesn't say, okay, Mary J, so they did you wrong, you're going to do them wrong, so we're even. No, karma doesn't work like that. Karma says, okay, they've wronged you and you've wronged them, so the same thing that you've done, it's still you gotta reap that. It's going to come back your way. It may not come in this season, it's going to come another time. So you have to learn how to make karma your friend. What you see, every seed that you feed, I posted it on the other day. Every single seed that you feed will grow. It's gonna grow. Yes, it is. And so you have to understand that, okay, if this is something that I want to grow in my life, if this is something that I want to grow in my future, if this is something that I want to deal with again, I have to know how to handle this. I can't let this get the best of me. So we want to talk about, what do you do when you've been wounded? What do you do when you've been hurt? Particularly our ladies, because, ladies, we deal so deeply. We love so hard. We love so strong. But what do you do when you feel that you've been wounded? Because a lot of times, our men don't have to deal with that as much. I don't hear too many men that deal with trying to get back at the person or get back at the relationship. Our men, they're logical thinkers. We're emotional feelers. So I know we feel a whole lot. So when we feel, we act out of our emotions, and it doesn't always lead us to a good place. So we have to understand, you guys, you can't render evil for evil. You have to follow that which is good and stand on it. You have to think about what you've been through, what you've gone through, what you've come out of, and understand what part did you play in it. Because we all play a part. Yes, we do. We all play a part, no matter what. I'm gonna tell you, sometimes your part in it may just be that you stayed in it too long. That's playing a part, because we can't continue to be victimized. We can't continue to be the victim. I remember a time that I felt like that. I felt like that, and I started reminiscing. I started talking about those things. I started saying, you know what? I went there to help them, and this happened to me. I went there to bless them, and instead, this happened to me. Why did I end up here? Why, I think about those type of things, but guess what? Guess what happens when we think like that? We continue to be the victim. So when you continue to rehearse that thing over and over, and you say all of what you did right, you're right, all of the good that you've given, all what you did to make it work, all what you did to make it last, and you keep talking about all of what you gave away, but if you keep rehearsing that and replaying that in your head over and over and over, you begin to stay stuck, because you begin to dwell on the past. And when you dwell on the past, guess what? You start opening, you start picking at that wound, you start picking at that sore, all of that stuff that hurt you years ago. You start picking at that sore again, and you've opened it up. The thing has gotten infected. You thought you were healed from it. You thought you were able to move on and go forward, but you realize, you're really wounded a lot deeper than you ever thought you were. Let me say this, guys. I told you all I have a broken foot. I do. But even in spite of it all, I just learned to stand strong. I always say, believe me, never let the devil see you sweat. Never let him see you bend. Never let him see you break at all. I've learned something about just being in pain. And I want to talk about that just for a moment, just about being in pain, because I'm a person that has a very strong, very high pain tolerance. I can take a lot of pain. The doctors they'd be like, what? Because I'm, not a big person, but I can take a lot of pain. And I remember when I got burned in the face, and I had those second-degree burns on my arm, and the doctor asked me, do you want something for your pain, right in the emergency room? And I was like, no. And so a lot of times they think when you don't want something for your pain, that then maybe you might not be in a whole lot of pain, because if you were, right, common sense, you would take something if you were in excruciating pain. So they asked me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is your pain? I said about a 7. Do you want something for your pain? No. I'm not one to take medications. I try my best not to. And I just try to deal with it. Now, I'm not saying that to be heroic, because it could be stupidity the most, because listen, if you're in pain and you really like in excruciating pain, you might want to take something, and it has nothing to do with that. It's just that I just don't like a lot of toxins in my body. I try not to take medication if I don't have to, really don't have to. I try my best not to, and I'd be thinking about the side effects and the becoming addictive to drugs. So I don't play with medicine. I really don't. So let me tell you, I didn't take anything for the pain. Went through that fire. The doctor was shocked, like, oh my God, they've never seen anything like that. You didn't take anything for this pain, but they can tell, they see it. They see my skin is all burned. It was raw to the meat. My skin felt like it was on fire, but I didn't want to take anything for the pain. Now, on the other hand, when I broke my foot, same thing. They asked me, did I want something for the pain while I was there in emergency? And I said no. My foot was, oh my gosh. I've never had a broken bone in my body, never had a surgery, never had a toothache, never had a tooth pulled at all. So I didn't know anything about that, right? My foot was excruciating. It was a pain that was undescribable. I've given birth to 3 children. I didn't want anything for the pain. I didn't want an epidural, any of that. But my foot, I didn't want anything for that pain. By the time I got home that night, I dealt with it. The second night, I dealt with it. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get this prescription filled. Why are you talking about pain right now, Mary Jen? We're supposed to be talking about love. I'll tell you why. Because when I took that medication, and when I took the medication that morning when I woke up, I forgot that my foot was actually broken. The pain medication had sedated it. I didn't feel anything. Now, I knew that I had a broken foot, but I didn't feel anything. It felt like it was healed. I know I had prayed about it. I know God moves suddenly. He moves miraculously. But I was like, my God, I don't feel anything in my foot. I think I can walk on this foot. I can stand on this foot. I forgot that it was the pain medication that I had taken. Now, what happens, guys? The pain medication would go to the brain and tell the brain that there's no pain. It told my brain that my body was not in pain. Had I been stupid, had I used stupidity instead of common sense, instead of wisdom, I would have tried to walk on that broken foot, and guess what would have happened? You know the story of that, right? Why am I saying this? Because a lot of times we come out of brokenness, we come out of broken relationships, and we come out of heartbreak and heartache. We come out of so much stuff. We deal with love, and when we love hard, and we get our heart broken, and then that hole is there, that deepness is there. A lot of times, no matter what it is, it can be childhood trauma that we will go through some issues in life, and then we think that we're over it. We think that we're free of it. You forgave, you moved on, you went forward. But what really happens in a lot of cases, we've medicated that situation. We've doped ourselves up with so much. We've doped ourselves up with, just getting by, just coping, just working, whatever it is, whatever you do, we talked about it too. Whatever you do to get through, whatever your thing is that gets you through, that makes you go forward and forget all about it. You forget about it, and you know what you'll say? You'll say, oh, I don't feel anything anymore. I'm so over that. I'm so through with that. I'm so done. I forgave him. I forgave her. We're good. We're going to be cool. That's my girl. We're all right, but we're not the same anymore. So I'm just moving on. I'm moving on. And guess what happens? There's something that will go forward somewhere down the line when that trigger comes and you realize, ooh, this hurts. Oh my gosh, this is really deep. I feel this. That's because the medicine that you took, that you thought healed it all, that you thought it was all over, no, it just covered it up. It just gave you that false hope. It made you believe that it was all done, but it really wasn't, until you saw the person, until you had to reconnect, until your paths crossed again, or until something reminded you of someone, or somebody said something that triggered something that happened in you a long time ago, no matter what it is. And I thought that was just so fascinating. That was so interesting. I was like, my goodness, medicine can really make you believe that you don't have the pain, even though you still have the brokenness. The brokenness is not healed. My foot is not healed. It's still broken. But the medication gave me the false hope of believing that it was healed and that it was whole. And I just thought that was just like so powerful, that it goes to the brain, into your bloodstream so quickly, and all of a sudden you think it's all gone. You think you're all healed. So how many times we go through that roller coaster in life and we think it's all done. We think it's all over. We think we're all healed. How many times does that happen? Until we are faced with that again. That's when the real test comes. That's when the real healing begins. Right there at that moment when you have to face it head on. You have to look at that thing differently. You have to remember what you've been through and how you felt. And then you have to know, you know what? I'm going to deal with this differently. I'm going to look at this thing wholeheartedly. I'm not going to do what was done to me. I'm not going to, no, I'm not going to say what was said to me. I'm not going to fight fire with fire. No, I'm not. I'm going to love my way through this. I'm going to forgive. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to move forward. And guess what? I'm going to keep on loving. Not only that, you keep on loving, you love the person that hurt you. You love the person that wronged you. You love the person that talked about you. You love the person that betrayed you. You love the person that backstabbed you. You love the person that talked and scandalized you. You love the person that really tried to deceive you, that really tried to betray you. You love them through it. Yes, you do. You keep on loving through it, because what you give out, you're going to get back. And so everything that comes out of you, everything that flows from you, from the issues of your heart, everything that you feel in your heart is gonna resonate through your body. It's gonna tell your mind to act out, to do certain things, to perform certain things, to carry on in a certain way. So you have to understand that you're not gonna let it hold you hostage. Though you can react, you're not going to. You're gonna respond. Though you can fight back, though you can let them know just how you feel, you can go ahead and do some things. You can say a whole lot, but you choose not to, regardless of what was done, regardless of what was said. Yes, you're stronger. That's when you know what you're really made of. When that pain comes one more time and you be like, "Oh, I'm gonna take this one. It hurts, but I'm gonna let this one roll. I'm gonna let it go. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna say what you did. I'm not gonna say, no. I'm not gonna get in that person's face and tell them off. You let it go." So we're talking about real love, guys. Real love. Real love will make you do right. Real love, you can't do wrong when you're loving right. Real love will cause you to see a person in a whole different light. Now, it doesn't make you weak. It won't make you stupid. That's an ugly word. Yeah, I know it's an ugly word. A lot of times we become foolish. No, real love will make you wise. Real love will have you to look beyond the fault, but you know how to move forward. You know how to press through it all, no matter who it is. It can be your mother. You can have issues with a relative. You can have issues with a spouse. You can have issue even with your children. But real love, and I say real love, because I really don't use unconditional love lightly. I really don't use that. A lot of people talk about unconditional love, but their love is based on conditions. Yeah, it's based on conditions. That's why we have so many people that have divorces. You love, but it's not enough to make you stay. It's not enough to keep you there. You love, but you're wise enough. You're not going to stay stuck in you're not going to stay in an abusive relationship and say, "Well, I have unconditional love for him no matter how much, he hurts me and he's abusing me, but I'm just going to stay." So it's based on a condition. It's based on a condition, and I'm not going to get church and deep on tonight, but it's based on condition. You wouldn't lay down your only son for anyone, so it's based on condition. But we're talking about love on tonight, guys. We're talking about lust. Those of us that have brought in, those emotional bondage, those soul ties. We thought it was love, but it was lust, girls. It was lust, guys. They made you feel a certain way. A lot of times we know that because we get so emotionally tangled. We get right up into the sex of things. We forget, who that person is to us. We get into the lust. And guess what happens? I mean, it fogs up everything. Now you can't even think straight. You're not even relating to that person properly. The love, the lust has gotten all mixed up, all entangled in your emotions, in your body, and now you're just lusting. Now you're just sexing. The sex is good, but do you really love them? Are you really in love with them? Or you just love what they can give to you? You love the way they make you feel. You love what they do to you. That's lust. That's not love. When a person is giving to you, doing things for you, and it's making you feel good, but you know without that they ain't good for nothing. That's that's not love. That's not love. You're holding on to what a person is capable of giving. But without that, do you still love? A lot of times when we get out of the emotion of things and we get out of the bed, we get from between the sheets and then talk, have a decent conversation, make love to my spirit, talk to my, let me know what you're thinking, where you're trying to go, where you're trying to take me, what's on your agenda, where you're trying to get to. Do you have a vision? Do you have a plan for your life? How can you lead me, down the path that would be of good morals, and integrity? So a lot of times when we get caught up into just owing each other, we miss out. When you sit back and you have a conversation with a fine sister, she's bad to the bone, she's beautiful, she has brains and all of that, and you have a real conversation with her, you'll be like, oh, you know what, this sister she's pretty tough, she's pretty tight, she got her head on right. But you can't see that because you're just so busy looking at her body. You're not trying to make love to her mind. It's so much is going on, and then when you get in the sheets, that's all you want. So now you've gotten entangled into her sexually. So what she's giving you, you're getting that, and that's good. You can get that from anybody, anywhere. That's not enough, ladies. That don't come on, really? Is that all that we have to offer? We're talking about love. We're not going to be entangled with lust. We're going to use our brains. We're going to think about who it is. That's why I say we can't settle for just any and everybody. You cannot lower your standards. You can't put yourself in a position where you just see yourself jumping around with this person and that person. It doesn't matter. If you don't have a vision and you don't know where you're going, you will settle for whomever. You would take whatever is given. But no, when you have a vision and a plan and you know what you're doing, you know where you want to go, you don't settle anymore. You don't settle anymore. No, everybody should not have access to you. Gentlemen too. Everybody should not be in your circle. Everybody should not be able to rub shoulders with you, rub elbows with you. Absolutely not. Because when you know that you have such a standard, you don't settle for just anything and everybody. Okay, so we're talking about love on tonight. We dealt with lust a little bit. We talked about it. We're going to talk about trust a whole lot more, honor and respect. Oh my goodness, yes. When you respect yourself, when you honor, first of all, loving yourself. Self-love is the best. It's the first and foremost. You have to love yourself first. Put yourself first before anything else. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love anyone else. Okay, no matter how much you love, if you don't love you, how can you give love? Date yourself first, take care of yourself, go out and enjoy life, treat yourself nice. You deserve it. You're worth all of that. So we're talking about love on tonight. Go and subscribe, guys, to my YouTube channel. You can reach me at Mary J Enterprises. You can type in Mary J Intercourse, whatever you want to type in, Mary J Heart Talk. Pull it up, it's there. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. We'll be right here for Matters of the Heart at 10 p.m. every Monday night right here with your girl, Real Talk Mary J. Hello, everybody. I see you guys coming in. We're out of time on tonight, but we don't want you all to stop connecting with us. You can go back, play the replay, catch up with us, or go back. Please go back and subscribe right here. Press the link right here, and you'll be able to connect with me a little more. All right.